Hello, everybody, and welcome to another One Stop Wrestling podcast. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by the awesome twosome of Alfonso and Rohit for this week. And for this week's show, we are going to be previewing the big AEW pay-per-view coming up this weekend, AEW Dynasty. So, Alfonso, how are you today? Have we still got a WrestleMania hangover?
Yeah, a little bit. It has been very difficult to watch wrestling these weeks because I feel like I'm still hanging over about WrestleMania. It's very difficult for me. The weeks after Mania is very hard because you're
I completely get you. Yeah.
yeah.
Rohit, how about you?
So
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Just watching watched some football last night, and of course wrestling a couple of days before that of the weekend, and yeah.
Awesome. So, there's a lot of wrestling coming up this weekend. So we have AEW Dynasty coming up, and it's an interesting time for AEW at the moment because we have had a very controversial couple of weeks for the company. Lots of stuff going on off screen. We've had the really controversial situation happening on Dynamite where they stage footage from All In. Generally, a lot of negativity around the company at the moment. Ratings are still quite low, and live attendances are low. And to be quite honest, I think the company is in a lot of trouble at the moment. I wouldn't say in trouble financially or anything like that, but in terms of what the product they're putting out is, I don't think it's very good at the moment. I think they need a lot of help. I think Dynasty this weekend could be a fantastic show. A lot of their pay-per-views deliver, and they're always very, very good. But it's what happens after the pay-per-views that matters. It's what comes next. It's what comes on the next Dynamite. It's can they continue with storylines? Can they make engaging storylines? Can they get the fans to invest more? Can they get casual fans to invest in the product? Which is, I think they're massively struggling at the moment. I think they do need a lot of help, and I just hope after Dynasty, AEW can really kick on and do some good stuff.
I
I thought the same
mean,
after
yeah.
Revolution. I thought Revolution was a fantastic show,
hmm
and the weeks since then have just been quite meh, really, in terms of their on-screen product. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Are you excited for this weekend show?
yeah, I'm excited, but just put it this way: when people like, for example, AEW fans or casuals or WWE fanboys who like to hate on AEW, whatever your category you fall on. If you like say that they don't have really many engaging storyline, there's a problem when two of the best like AEW guys for in terms of having a good rivalry slash story going on, it's not happening on AEW. It's happening on New Japan.
Or you could say the most engaging thing is CM Punk and what's going on with him, and he's a WWE superstar.
Yeah, so it's a bit strange in my opinion because if you do watch more than one wrestling company, I get it, time and everything, that's fine. But as long as I feel like, as long as you don't fall in the boat where you are rooting for letters of a company rather than pro wrestling itself or sports entertainment, if you still want to call it that, whichever floats your boat, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, because if you check things out, for example, the rivalry between Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd is turning into a blood feud, and the Jack Perry stuff has surprisingly been pretty good despite him being a House of Torture boy. So, and they
It
have stories, and it's engaging to an extent.
Yeah, it's interesting, and us here, we just love pro wrestling. We want every company
Mhm.
to do well.
Yeah.
I personally want AEW to kick on and start producing some engaging shows, which I don't think they've been doing, which is quite sad for wrestling fans as a whole. What do you think, Alfonso? excited for Dynasty this weekend?
I'm excited for Dynasty. I'm not sure if I'm watching live. Maybe I'm going to catch a replay or something. But the thing that I'm more invested is in what you said. They need to produce better television. And I think to produce better television, they need to have less television. I think it's weird, but I think they need to do like maybe split the rosters, maybe have Tony give collision to someone else, have them produce that, do a roster split. They have enough wrestlers to do a roster split, I think. I know it's going to be difficult for a while, but maybe just to get like the wheels going, the storylines going, you need to have people like focus on what they're doing. Maybe he has too much on his plate. We have been saying this before. I'm going to repeat it again. He needs people around him to help him with the creative stuff because I think that producing a show like that with so many stuff, plus him having the Jaguars and Fulham on his table, is a lot of work, you know. And like you said,
I
like
mean,
we
let's
have
be
some,
honest, Fulham isn't hard to deal with. Just let them be mid-table and they're all good.
but for me, the important thing is that we have some storylines.
Yeah.
We're going to see it right now in the match card. We have some storylines. Maybe they're not as well produced as other companies. We know that because AW
Mm.
is more about the wrestling than the stories. That's okay, but still, you need more. Like, if you want people to invest in your TV and your live shows, you need to give them a reason why they're going there.
Yeah,
So,
I
so
think
yeah,
it's
but
just a business strategy, really, isn't it?
yeah, but
I agree with both of you. Yeah,
Mm.
I think Tony Khan does need help. I don't think
Yeah.
his philosophy of just putting out great matches is working at the moment. That can be seen in the ratings and live attendance.
but
Um,
something that is crazy is that he wants to have a lot of attendance and high numbers, and he's
Mhm.
having the same business model as New Japan or Stardom, that they don't produce a lot of storylines but a lot of great matches. And when you see the numbers of the arenas that they fill in, like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people, it's very different to arenas that WWE is filling up with 15,000, 20,000. It's very different. So that's one way to see it, I think. But let's see the card. Let's talk about the storylines in that card, because I think
Yeah.
Dynasty can be one of the greatest pay-per-views for AEW history.
I do have to point out that, like, I feel like for weekly, like, ratings is one thing, but I think for arenas, if you can fill like consistently like a 5,000 seater venue for a weekly show, I think that's fine as long as it's presented well. But yeah, in
And
terms of like
and
growing your
for me, for
audience,
me,
yeah.
for me, that's the thing.
Mm.
Like, instead of going to big arenas,
Yeah.
go to smaller arenas.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's going to
100%.
look it's going to look better on TV. You're going to have a rowdy crowd. People are
Yeah.
going to fight to get in. It's going to be amazing. And then once you get that consistency of 5,000 each week,
Yeah.
you move up. And
Like
then you move up, and then you move up, and then you move up.
100% agree. It's like with the Windy City Riot show by New Japan in Windthrust Arena. Like I thought like I think it can hold anywhere depending on the setup to like around 6,000 to 10,000 roughly. And I think the setup was just under 7,000, and I'm pretty sure they filled majority of it, if not most of it, which I was surprised for a New Japan show because I thought like based on them selling more smaller arenas and sometimes failing to fill out a 4,000 seater arena, that like they managed to pretty much fill out a 7,000 seater setup, which I found crazy, but well played by them.
yeah, you make some good points. I think I think they need to change their philosophy,
Mhm.
work on their product first, and then we can move on to those sorts of things that you mentioned. So we'll get into the AEW Dynasty card this
Mhm.
weekend. So we'll start off. There are 8 matches announced. So we'll start off with a very, very big singles match, which could honestly be like one of the best matches in AEW history, which is Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. What are you guys expecting from this match? Are you expecting an absolute classic here?
I expect 1,000 stars. Like, let's be honest. Like, you can have your opinion on each of one of these guys of whatever they do, but they are top at wrestling. They are like easily the best wrestlers in the world from the last 10 years. I think Will Ospreay is fucking amazing in the ring, and Brian is the best. Like Danielson knows ring psychology, knows how to wrestle, and when he gets like stiff, like wrestling like really really stiff, and when he can bleed and everything, he's at his best. And I think
Yeah,
we're going to see an amazing match. And one of the
Yeah.
things that I've been thinking about, and I think you're Rohit, you're going to get very excited about this, is that he's Will Ospreay is facing Claudio Castagnoli tonight, I think,
Yeah.
he is.
at Dynamite, and then
Yeah.
he's facing Brian Danielson and a Dynasty, meaning that he's going to only get one last member of the Black Bull Combat Club left, and he's the
Yeah.
new champion of New Japan, John Moxley.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited to see that match. I think they're going to make that match also because if he's
Yeah.
fighting Claudio and then he's fighting Danielson, maybe the next guy he's going to fight is going to be Moxley. And
Yeah.
sincerely, I just want to see Osprey fight every single guy in that roster because he's that good.
I mean, it makes sense. The story's already built. They're meant to have the big, like, blow off at Wrestle Kingdom, but then David Finlay inserted himself and made it
Exactly,
triple threat.
exactly. That's
So
why. That's
the
why.
story is
So
already there if they want to capitalize on it.
So for me, the story is going to be is bigger than this match. I think this match is like a fan service,
Hmm.
and these are the things that I don't give a fuck. It's a fan service, Like it's
I'm
I think
okay.
here and there it's good, but I know, sir, like for example, Alex is very story, like he wants to get invested with storylines and everything. So for him, it's like sometimes like, why should I care? But
yeah,
at the same time, again, there is a right balance. And like for example, for me and Alfonso, yeah, you have with one of the other matches now, which we'll get to later in a bit, like Samoa Joe and Strickland do have a pretty good story. And then
yes,
obviously you have this one, like the Will Ospreay Brian Danielson, which there is a little bit of story, but it's not that much. It's more like
But
you're the best, I the
but
best, let's
no,
fight.
but I'm pretty sure we're going to see some story in the ring,
Yeah, yeah,
like
of course, hundred
yeah.
percent,
See,
I
and
agree.
you're
and
right. I love these two guys, Osprey and Danielson. I think they're two of the best wrestlers on the planet. Have been for the last 10 years. I'm big fans of both. Big fan of both of them, and I'm really looking forward to this match. But I echo your sentiments, Rohit. I would have liked a bit more story behind it rather than we're both really good. Let's fight. They could have maybe built something on the guys Osprey has beaten in the past. How he conquered New Japan, so to speak. How he did better than Danielson. Any kind of layer there would have been nice to just make it a bit more engaging. But really looking forward to this match. It should be an absolute banger in the ring. So we'll move on to the second match.
just
That is
just
the tournament final match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. That is the Young Bucks versus FTR. I believe it's a ladder match, which I mean,
Okay.
it's going to be a car crash type match. Um, do we think the Young Bucks are winning this one with their new heel characters? Do you feel like it kind of makes sense for them to win this one?
yeah. My heart says FTR, but they need to go with the Bucks. If they're doing this new persona, if they're having everything going around, if the excuse about All In was they didn't pray before the match, they need to pray the fuck out and just win that match. You know, is the logical way to go for it. It's going to be car crash wrestling. It's going to be nice wrestling, and they have always have like good matches. And I don't expect less from
Yeah.
them. They have good chemistry between them, and I think FTR keeps proving they're like a very solid tag team. The Young Bucks have been lacking on the wrestling side for the last few years, but I think it's because they need to wrestle heel because they wrestle better when they're heel. So yeah, it's going to be a nice match.
Plus, their wear and tear with their style, so I think they are trying to slow it down a little bit. Which some people may
By
think
having a
that
ladder
they're
match.
watch. Yeah, that's the dumb thing, isn't it? But yeah, honestly, like from like I haven't been keeping up too much with the that tag team storyline, but for me, like I think the Bucks will win. But what I would like basically is, do they have like a Money in the Bank for tag team in AEW? I would like someone else to get those belts because you've got a lot of good teams that never held the belts even once. Like one team that I was a bit surprised. I'm not sure if they held it, and I know one of them got injured, but Matt and Jeff Hardy, they never held the belts, if I'm correct.
they've never held the belts. No, not
Yeah,
in
which
AW.
exactly, which would have been a no-brainer, even if it's just like a nostalgia run where they win it, defend it like once, and then they lose it. That would have been fine, I think,
But
for everyone just to have that.
but for me, one of the
Mhm.
things that is interesting about this ladder match
Yeah.
is that I'm pretty sure that
Mhm.
if they run the footage about the arena, we need to get Jack Perry to appear.
Yeah, they should make like a super elite. Like, there's no other
Yeah, yeah,
reason
for
why you
sure.
why you play that footage apart from to try and embarrass Punk. But in
And
storyline wise, why would you not capitalize by trying to make a story out of it and put Perry with the Young Bucks and just make them into this super heel faction?
yeah, like for me is I think CM Punk said it after the
Mhm.
incident is like if you're not going to make money about this problem, why are you in wrestling?
Yeah,
Mhm. I
Like
the,
think they're going to do something with Jack Perry. I don't know if they're gonna join like the Super Elite or something, or if he's gonna be
no, because I'm going
against
to
them.
give you I'm
Yeah.
going to give you a very interesting fact. Like
Mhm.
in June 15, 2022, the Young Bucks fought in Road Rager ladder match for the tag team titles against and they beat Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus at the
Mm.
same arena they're fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to come back. He has enough heel. We saw the reaction in Chicago. Jack Perry can be
Mm.
one of the top heels in the company right now. They can build around like heel CM Punk, anti CM Punk faction. People love to sing about CM Punk. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's good if people are going to still have that on their head because I think controversy controversial stuff make
Mhm.
people tickle, like people
Yeah.
love to sing about controversial stuff all the time, so just use it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean, he shook Shota Umino's hand after his match, which isn't very House of Torture-ish. So it does seem like maybe like his little New Japan stint, like full time, is a bit over, which makes me
yeah.
think he's gonna be returned to AEW soon. Which with
We'll
this
uh, we'll
match, yeah,
we'll uh, we'll have to wait and see with Jack Perry. But I
yeah,
think try not to mention CM Punk and try not to put over one of the main opposition's top stars. But yeah, let's turn into a good storyline. So the next match is Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. There's not been like a hell of a lot of build for this, but
mm.
I mean, who do you think is going to win?
I think it's going to be a no contest. i
Mm.
think i think they're fighting around and then you're going to have Mercedes Monet appearing and just destroying the match. I think Julia Hart has improved a lot in the last few years. And I hope they get a little bit of time, like 10, 15 minutes just to prove themselves. But then I want Mercedes Monet just to appear and cause some chaos,
Well,
you know?
Mercedes Monet is set to face the winner of this match, which leads me to believe that Willow Nightingale will
Yeah,
win because that's where the feud is going. It's Willow and Mercedes.
Yeah, because of the
yeah,
injury of Mercedes. But I don't want to have like Julia Hart just disappear in the background. That's
Yeah,
my
Julia
thing.
Julia Hart's done some great stuff over the past year. She's
mm.
much improved, like you said, Alfonso.
Like I don't want just because Mercedes Monet came back just to decide to make Julia Hart again a background player. You know, she's
When's
a
the
homegrown
Owen?
talent.
Yeah, when's the Owen Hart tournament thing? Do you guys know?
Oh,
Or
that's near the summer, isn't it? I think, or the
okay,
fall. I'm not quite sure.
because I was thinking if it's towards the summer, that's not too far. Maybe if Julia does drop it, she's set maybe to win that. Maybe
The Owen
Possibly.
Hart
to
Cup
keep her
was in
relevant. I don't
September.
know.
I think overall they're gonna go in the direction of Mercedes Moné will end up being the champion.
Yeah.
I feel like her first few weeks in the company have been like really lackluster, if I'm completely honest. Don't think she's come across very well on screen. Her promos haven't been that great. I hope they don't drop the ball with her. Let's hope after this match something good comes of it and Mercedes Moné can have a really good run as champion. We will have to wait and see. The next match is, this feels like a Tony Khan special of let's just throw some guys together and have a classic match. It's Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe versus the House of Black in a trios match. What do we think
I
about this one?
I think this is the only match that Malachi Black want to work.
This feels very thrown together.
Yeah,
Copeland's gonna turn heel, join the House of Black, and we get Judgment Day 2.0.
And Rohit, I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
I'm here
Um,
for that as well, Rohit.
why not? I mean, I guess Eddie Kingston's always up for fights, and he's always respectful to like the guys that came before him, so it makes sense. And Mark has been kind of like on a similar kind of page. So in terms of it, like Copeland's partners, it makes sense. But I don't know why they're fighting the House of Black. Like, has there been any interactions with them?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, at
Brody
Because
least
King has interacted with Adam
because
Copeland, but again, there's been no
num
explanation of
yeah.
why. The lights have just
yeah,
gone out and he's attacked him for no apparent reason, really.
but I
Mm.
think I think if you're eventually getting Malachi Black against Adam Copeland in a one-on-one match, that's great because Malachi Black, apart from all the memes and everything, he needs to have some single matches.
I
Yeah.
agree, but
Even though he loses those matches, that's okay, Malachi. You can lose some matches.
I don't
I'm here for
understand.
that match. But please make me care. Please give
Yeah.
me a story to it.
I mean, I don't understand why Tony Khan doesn't see. Like, is it true that Malachi doesn't want to work, or
We
what?
don't
We
know. We
don't
don't know.
know.
We can
It's just a
speculate and
strange,
everything.
Well, he
yeah,
was
And
he is a CM Punk guy, isn't he? He was
strange
apparently
situation.
close friends with him, and
Mm.
that could be a reason why we haven't seen much of him.
I mean, as if he's still willing to do business, then I don't see an issue with like, oh, he's a CM Punk guy. Blah, blah. It's like Brian Cage, just because he's like from the West Coast, similar area to the Bucks, he would technically be a Young Bucks guy, but he's willing to do business with that, whoever. Then yeah, I don't.
I
yeah,
yeah,
so I think it's gonna be like a nice little break
Mm.
match,
Yeah,
like
it should
just
be
to
fun.
break.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I
Mm.
and the match with Adam Copeland against Penta on Dynamite was very pretty fun, to be honest. I watched it live, I live tweeted and everything, and it was very fun. I want to see Eddie Kingston against Buddy Matthews. I think that's going to be a very interesting dynamic, and I think that Malachi Black going one on one against Copeland, and if they have a feud for the TNT title, that can be really great, and
Yeah.
maybe have Malachi win that eventually. That can be also pretty nice,
Hmm.
and
I mean,
maybe
yeah.
and maybe if Malachi Black, if we continue the storylines that he was building with the beginning of AEW, if he can miss Adam Copeland, and then you have Adam Copeland going to
Mm.
the dark side and joining Christian, and then you have Edge and Christian finally becoming a tag team. That's a great long-term storytelling, you
Yeah.
know.
interesting. You've thrown out a lot
Arsenio
of fancy.
Copeland in that Penta match. Seen him pull out some lucha.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty nice. It was pretty
Yeah.
nice.
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of ways they can go there. Next match is the AEW Women's World Championship match. Timeless Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa's been doing some pretty cool stuff since she's come back. Great promo on Collision last week. I feel like Toni Storm is going to win this match. I feel like her timeless thing is still really hot, and there's no real reason to take the belt off her at this point. Do you agree?
I disagree.
You
And
think it's Thunder Rosa's time?
I think it's Thunder Rosa time because I think Tony Storm is going to go Mariah Mariah feud. You know,
yeah, I
Mariah
was
May
thinking
feud.
let's they pull the trigger on that.
And that's okay because Tony has make a great work with that title. But women wrestling need to have feuds without titles, and Tony Storm can produce feuds without titles, and that's
Yeah.
why I
Yeah.
don't want her to be a champ right now because she can go elsewhere and create another wrestler, elevate her to the same level as hell. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great match. The last few weeks with their feud have been really cool to see. Like, have been one of the most interesting things about Dynamite for me, to be honest.
Mhm.
So I'm a big Tony Storm guy, and I want Tony Storm to lose the title.
You make a good point about the potential feud with her and Mariah May, and for her to make people because she doesn't need the title. That's a good point, Alfonso. So they could go either way there.
She also had some interaction with some Stardom people on the American show that they had recently. So maybe she could be doing a few dates over there, which means she might be away from Dynamite. So that could also play a factor potentially. Who knows?
Yeah. So next match is the AEW Continental Championship. It's Kazuchika Okada defending against Pac. What do you expect from this one, guys?
I expect good fucking wrestling. Uh,
Mm.
Okada has been lacking a little bit of story, have been lacking a little bit of everything in AEW,
I
but
agree.
having him as champion is the right choice, and have him facing a guy that is as good as Pac is a great choice. So I think we're going to have a nice match.
Yeah, I'm with you, Alfonso. I don't think again, it's very similar to Mercedes Monet. I don't feel like his first few weeks have made that big of an impression. He's just sort of trundled along, and he's a heel, which doesn't make any sense to me personally. Much rather see Okada as a babyface at the moment.
Mm.
But
The thing is that you cannot have him as a babyface at the moment. There are too many baby faces in AEW. I think you need him to wait a little bit, maybe just wait a little bit. I
but the
think he's,
crowd want to cheer him. They want to cheer him. They don't want to boo him.
but not
I th-
yet, not yet.
the
I
I think
think,
the issue is not many people have ever seen Hilo Carter, which is a damn shame because Hilo Carter does work. It's
yeah,
just
for
I
me
don't know if Hilo Carter works with like how the
in the
American
US,
style is booked.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it
But
can be done, but I think they're leaning too much to the Western and Okada's doing well with what he's given, but yeah, it's a bit.
that's the thing for me. Like him being a heel with the jump box, I think it was the bad decision.
It
But
was for me.
but
Yeah.
him being a heel, it can work. I think because Okada can make a heel persona work. And if you have like a heel Okada, then you can have him have a lot of amazing matches against baby faces, and that's what AW needs, like more big
Yeah.
heel guys, because right now, if you think Samoa Joe, if you think Swerve Strickland, that we're going to talk about, they're not like heel and face, they're like very in between.
Yeah. I mean, with Okada, like the simplest way to like have him as a heel is literally money. Like have him be like that money guy, like a Ted DiBiase, or like how Robert Roode was Bobby Roode in TNA early on, where he was like the Wall Street guy, right?
Yeah.
Have him be that because it makes sense because in his early days when he was a heel, it was literally Tanahashi's love for the business versus Okada's money minded for the business, and that was part of the feud. Which is stronger, love or money?
Yeah, that's a great story, and that may have worked for Okada. I think it would have worked certainly a lot better if they debuted in babyface and then maybe
Yeah,
did that after 6 months or so in the company rather than strap him to the Young Bucks, who were, relatively cold when
Yeah.
Okada joined. But we'll see. So the penultimate match, this could be the sleeper match of the night, I think. This is the AEW International Championship match. It's Roderick Strong defending against Kyle O'Reilly.
Surely O'Reilly should win that. Please. No, nothing against Roderick, but
I'm not sure
just
if
like
he's. I'm
O'Reilly.
not sure if he's winning in his first big
Yeah,
match coming back.
probably not. No, probably not.
Because Roderick Strong has a legion behind him, so that's why.
Yeah, that's
Only if
true.
you have Wardlow like
I
trying
mean,
to
what
mess
if the
with them,
machine guns help O'Reilly out?
maybe.
Even the numbers. I don't know, but
But I'm just
yeah,
very happy to see Kyle O'Reilly
for
come
sure.
back,
Yeah.
and I want to see like a really long match with those two, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Just have them go for it, go long, go great, and have Kyle O'Reilly sell like he only can sell, because that guy was always making me laugh during the biggest matches in NXT. I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think his work as like a singular wrestler was great in NXT, but the last few weeks in AEW he has
yeah,
been creating this persona that I like a lot. So let's hope he can get like a nice
yeah.
showing in this pay-per-view.
And he can do it because I've seen some of his single stuff in Ring of Honor, New Japan, and some of his matches have been great. Like if you want to watch a Kyle O'Reilly match, watch him versus Kushida. I think it was in one of the Best of Super Junior tournament. That was a great match. So he can do it. And if you can build a persona that captures, like the Western audience a lot more, then that's even better for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
Kyle O'Reilly is a fantastic wrestler. So and like you said, Alfonso, a master seller. One of the best
Yeah,
sellers they in AW in the AW roster at the moment. So yeah, it could go either way, that one. Um, so the main event, this is a one of the most anticipated matches, if not the most anticipated on the card. It's the World Championship match. It's Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. They've built this one very nicely. It's a good feud. It's quite a heated rivalry at the moment with Joe and Strickland. They had the contract signing, which turned bloody and ended up with Swerve signing the contract with his own blood. They've really been out for each other. They're both hot at the moment. I feel like they're both like two of the hottest superstars with the most interest.
mm,
Um, I find this one quite difficult to predict because Swerve is so hot at the moment. I feel like if you don't pull the trigger on him now, they may lose their opportunity and he won't be as hot ever again. So, like, is this the time for Swerve?
no, because they're gonna do a finish the story with Swerve.
that,
No.
I don't think that will work.
I mean, it's a conundrum, isn't it? Like, who do you go for? I think they most likely will because Joe is Joe. It won't really harm him too much. Yeah, it'd be sad that he won't get like a long reign that people want because he never really got the world title in the WWE. TNA gave it to him only once, which I still find strange why he was only world champion once.
That's
And
bizarre, isn't it?
exactly, 100% so bizarre. And it wasn't even the longest reign either. It was like a decent reign, but not too long. And yeah, so I think now in AEW he had like a good reign, like in terms of matches, character, even length. It's not bad, but like I want him to go on like maybe not quite as long, but like a Gunther style World Heavyweight Championship reign, like for AEW. I think that would work so great. But then you have the Swerve stuff, which is just like, is it Swerve's time?
For
Can
me,
they
for
hold
me,
off?
it depends on what they're doing at All In, and
Mhm.
I really think they need to go to All In with the first AEW Black Champion. And it's like what you said, Alex. I
Mhm.
think it's time to hit while the iron is hot.
Yeah.
Swerve is really hot right now. I think it's time for him to beat Joe. I love Joe. It's very difficult, like, because I think here every one of us love Joe's to death,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
his work is immaculate. Like Rohit said, the last 5 weeks, Joe can have like 1 year, 2 year title reign. We'll be happy for it. But the Swerve Strickland character, the Swerve Strickland work, the Swerve Strickland everything is a superstar, and you can build your main event scene around him. And yeah, go for it. Just go with Swerve
Mm,
Strickland and have this
ye-
bloody
yeah.
match at the end of the pay per view, and maybe have someone returning, someone facing Strickland at the end. Maybe have Hadman Page appearing at the end just to close the pay per view. Maybe have a returning MJF just appearing at the end just to close the pay per view. Have somebody appearing at the end just to close the pay per view. That's something that I have been missing from
Jack
WWE.
Perry, ladies and
I don't think so. I don't think so, Rohit. Don't go. Don't go that
imagine,
way.
imagine.
But that's
I'm with
something that's something that I have been missing from WWE.
Yeah,
Like I love when you have like the guys that want to win their title just facing the champion in a promo or facing the champion after a match, just facing them. Like I wish that Cody Rhodes, instead of talking with The Rock, that who isn't even there, have like people just coming to see him. Maybe we're going to see that on Friday and have all these superstars that want to be champion just to be around or just interact a little bit with them. Like I want to see this feud with Strickland and Joe N, but I want to see what's next in the same night because, like you said, Alex, in the beginning of this podcast, is that we need to be invested, and to be invested, I want a cliffhanger so I can tune in next Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a very very good point,
yeah,
Alfonso. They need to
yeah,
get people engaged so that they will watch. I'm kind of like agree with both of you. Like Joe is Rohit, what you mentioned. Joe is so believable as a badass, like that he would just kick the shit out of anyone on that roster. So for him to go on a long
mm,
title run would make sense. But then at the same time, Alfonso's right. Like
yeah,
Swerve is like the hottest guy in the company at the moment. I think they might pull the trigger as well. So
yeah.
we will have to wait and see.
I
But
mean,
I think
Alfonso did mention All In. So if we go with Swerve All In, do you think Swerve versus Osprey for the title?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for
yeah.
sure, for sure.
But
I think that's one dream match that I didn't have in my head
yeah,
in the last year. But right now, if you tell me you're going to get Swerve against Osprey in a no DQ match main event,
yeah.
I say yes.
But then, wouldn't you want Osprey to win at All In, which means
Yeah,
Swerve would have a short
yeah.
reign?
I'm having Osprey win
Okay,
an all in and having Swerve having a short reign and then having him
okay.
chasing again the title as a
Chasing
heel.
again.
Yeah.
That's fair enough if like people aren't too upset with like Swerve having a small reign, because I feel like some people might say the agenda that, oh, he's a first black champion, he had a shitty reign, blah blah blah. So
Well, I think it'll be now an all-ins in September or
yeah,
October. So
I
there's
think
like
it's
there's
end
like
no
four
end
four
end of
months.
end of August, isn't it? Or is that all out? That's
Oh
No,
all
that's
out.
yeah,
Isn't it?
allowed. That's allowed.
That's all
So
out. Okay, yeah,
so you
it'll
get
be
like
like
a
a
four
four or
month
5 month
reign.
reign,
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that bad, a four
That's
month
not
reign.
bad. Yeah, yeah,
about
true,
the
true.
same as Joe now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
we
Yeah.
we will have to wait and see, guys. But I
And
think the most
and before
go
we
on,
go,
Alfonso.
before we go, just breaking news right now. They have
Mhm.
confirmed about the photo of Roman Reigns. I don't know if you have seen the photo of Roman Reigns posing with a
On a
lot of models on
TV
Twitter.
show or something. Oh, is it of
It's a
model shoot?
film.
Okay.
No, it's a
Oh, is
film.
it a film? Okay, so is a
We are
film.
getting one of the mashup that I didn't get. I didn't know that we're going to get this year, and it was not on my bingo card. Is a film with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Oh.
Oh.
So Roman Reigns
Interesting.
I mean, it's not the
is
Sonic movie, is it?
no, no, it's not a Sonic movie.
I
It's a
mean, Keanu Reeves has been cast in there, which is funny
yeah,
that you
yeah, but
said.
no.
But okay.
Apparently Roman is going all Hollywood, and he's going to have a movie with Keanu Reeves.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't
Hollywood Ray
surprise me.
Chief Rock.
Yeah, book it for next year.
But
so
yeah,
That's interesting.
I think
Yeah.
Dynasty can be a great pay per view, but I think the
Yeah.
name is the key here. Is Dynasty? What is this pay per view going to show us about AEW? How they're going to build for the future? what dynasty are we going to get after this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this pay-per-view will deliver, as all AEW pay-per-views do. It's what comes next. Can they keep the interest level high? Can they change their philosophy and get casual fans into the product? Can they get the ratings and attendance up? That's the most important thing for me. But we're looking forward to Dynasty this week. So yeah, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Alfonso and Rohit, thank you so much as always. Guys, watch Dynasty this weekend. There's lots more wrestling going on as well, so go and check it out and enjoy another fun week of wrestling. Everybody follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all at One Stop Wrestling.
And please, if you're going to the UK WWE tour, we want to see the photos, we want to see the videos, we want to see you out there. So please send us the pictures, the videos, everything you have. Tell us about your experience in this WWE UK tour. Send us to Twitter, send us to Facebook. Just show your love for wrestling to us, and we're going to make sure people see it.
Yeah, and I will be going to one of the shows tonight, so check out our Facebook and Twitter page, and you'll see some live shots of the WWE show tonight. So
you're getting Damien Priest against Kofi Kingston tonight.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I mean, Alex might need some antibiotics for certain reasons afterwards, but hey,
it's going to be a fun night, really. So yeah, guys, thank you so much as always. And we will see everybody next time for another One Stop Wrestling podcast. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.